Stop worrying, stop worrying, stop worrying. Easy? For some of us? No. Possible? 100%.
I'm Stephanie Filardi. Welcome to Mind the Gap, the podcast. I believe many people fall short of living the life of their dreams simply because they get stuck in what I call the gap. The vision behind this podcast is to help you understand how to navigate the gap and in the process, awaken to the life that is waiting for you. It starts now. Let's go.
Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining me today. Let us begin with our 3 conscious breaths. Take a deep inhale, filling your belly, your ribs, and your chest. Exhale audibly out of your mouth. Let it go from your chest, your ribs, and your belly. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky, filling up. Exhale, release, melt the shoulders away from the ears, lift the chest, let it go. And again, inhale, filling belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, sweet release, let it go. Today, I want to talk with you about worrying. Some of us, I believe, are born natural worrywarts. And once we realize that worrying is a waste of energy, like we truly understand that and see how it really distracts us from living a peaceful life, prevents us from manifesting our dreams. Once we really get that, then we can start to shift from a worry mindset, a fear-based mindset, a control mindset, to one of faith, to one of belief. So my invitation for you this week is to check out the areas in your life where you feel that sense of worry. And something that I want to share with you is that oftentimes when we are up to big things, when we start to see our dreams going from a vision board to actual reality, like in my case with a house that we will be purchasing in an area that I love at the beach, that there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of things that my mind is asking, right? Because it's a really big leap. Not only is it a move to a completely different place, even though it's a familiar place that truly is my heart and soul, there's a lot of things that can come up and are coming up. And I realized that this is what I needed to discuss this week. The other thing that prompted me to discuss this about worrying is my kitty cat of 10 years was starting to show signs that something was wrong with her, and she's been very healthy, and the vet doesn't know what's up. So it put me in a position this week where there were a lot of things personally and professionally that were coming up that caused me to kind of go into this panic worry mode. And it all happened so quickly that I really didn't even realize it until one of my dear friends pointed it out. So worry is something that will derail us. Now, I also think it is important to accept it, right? The practice, non-resistance. And then once you accept that you're worrying, you can make a different choice. So in my case, I started to focus on creating vision boards for each one of the rooms in the house. I started to focus on the beauty and the possibilities. I also, with my kitty cat, made an appointment for a neurologist and started doing energy healing with her. So instead of worrying and being sad, which I was, I channeled the energies into what I can do now that would make me feel good, that would empower me, right? Because oftentimes when we worry, we're in a place of disempowerment, right? It's a place of dis-ease and distress. And we all know with everything going on in our world, it's really easy to have things that are maybe not such a big deal to get amplified. So I want to invite you this week to imagine that everything in life, in your life that you're worried about, is going to turn out better than you expected. So maybe that love relationship that you're desiring that hasn't arrived yet, believe that it's coming. Believe that it's on its way. Or maybe the existing relationship you're in or relationships, maybe there's some challenges. Believe that things can improve. Believe in the other person. That's something that I've kind of experienced a lot in my own life. When I've had challenges in relationships, if I have someone in my life who I love dearly and perhaps they're behaving in a way that I have a problem accepting, instead of, again, worrying about, are they going to change and how am I going to control or deal with this if they do this, which puts us in a spin and doesn't serve, instead I focus on believing in them and seeing the possibilities for them, but not for my own benefit necessarily, but for their benefit. Right? Because when we start to get the fact that it's really all up to us how we experience life, and the only thing that we can control is ourself and our response, then there's an immense freedom that comes. And there's actually a beauty that also comes with that. So imagine the possibility that everything that you're worrying about will come out better than you could ever imagine. The relationship, the career, the money situation, the health situation, whatever you're feeling. That's my invitation to you, is give yourself permission to focus on what it is you want instead of the worry. And what can you do? Instead of feeding the worry wolf, feed the creative wolf. Feed the wolf of action towards your dreams. So as I close today, episode 86, wow, a year and a half, maybe a little more than that. Something that has been on my mind that I've also been worrying about is that right now in my life, I feel the desire to take a pause from producing this podcast every week. And it's taken me a little while to admit that and to accept that for a whole host of reasons, right? It kicks up my worry. What are listeners going to do? Oh my gosh, am I quitting? What's wrong with me? And then after meditating and writing and talking with a trusted friend, I realized that I need to let it go. And I trust that something will come of this, whether it's an Audible book, whether it's doing my current book as an Audible, whether it's something that I can't even think of right now. I trust the process, and I trust that as I continue to also grow my millionaire mindset manifestation coaching practice and a lot of energy sessions, that it will be revealed to me how this podcast needs to transform. So I'm willing to let go, and I'm willing to be comfortable in the uncertainty, and I'm willing to stop worrying. So for all of you who have been faithfully listening, who get a lot out of this podcast, I thank you for showing up. I thank you for your positive support, your affirmations, for supporting me, for sharing it. And if you'd like to stay in touch, you know how to do it. You know how to find me. Stephanie@yourmillionairecoach.com. I'm not huge on social media. I try to be, but sometimes it's a distraction, as I've shared in the past. So challenge yourself this week. Challenge yourself. stop worrying, and focus on what you want to create instead. And be prepared when it happens. Thank you. You got this. You're doing great. You're good enough. Let's go.